start right now, and I'm just gonna wait until I see the games pop up here on my screen so we can follow them. I'll try to keep an eye on all 8 games, but as mentioned, it's 3 minutes and 3-second increments, so it's not easy to to watch all 8 games at the same time, but we'll give it a try. So far, nothing has started yet. Ah, there we go. I see. Yeah, I see the guys. There we are. Okay, so let's jump in with our top seed Benjamin Bok, who's playing against one of the qualifiers from the by getting the most points throughout the season. Playing against Marcel Winkels, and as mentioned, this should be an easy win for Benjamin, but you never know. So he's going for a solid setup, and he is quite the lead in development. This move is a bit strange, but maybe it was necessary. I guess Benjamin might just continue playing. I don't know, move like d4, it makes sense, and just develop his pieces, and he should be more than fine. And I also see the other games have started. Excellent. Okay, let's just hop around a bit and see if we can. I mean, King Luke, he's always in for a treat when it comes to these events. I've also played a match against him once during this championship, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe. He always makes sure that you have crazy games, and he always manages to get far, but not without, not with any ease. So it seems like his opponent is. He was lagging a bit. So healthy setup, looks good. Just gonna hop around a bit and just see if there's anything exciting happening on one of the boards. I see some more exchange Slavs, also Sipke Ernst and Miguel Admiral, they have a similar opening to what Benjamin plays. So far not too exciting. Let's just tune in at the bottom board, which is the closest match between the two grandmasters, Roland Pruisers and Twan Burg. Roland opted for this. Let's see what happened here. He opted for this anti-Sicilian here, knight c3, and goes for not going for the open Sicilian. Twan Burg is known for his strong Najdorf play, but he just goes for a slower setup. But f4 still is quite optimistic, of course. What Black is doing basically is he wants to make this bishop the star of the game. This diagonal is so strong, and he's probably going to play b4 at some point, trying to open up the position there. Bishop d7 surprises me a little bit, but he just wants to protect this knight. I mean, scary things can happen on this diagonal, so I wonder. I guess White is going for some kingside attack. Yeah, there he goes, f5. So this is basically going all in for White now, because he's dropping so many squares here. e5, d4, which are beautiful squares for the knight, and but he's hoping to get his attack going here with White, and this is going to be an exciting game. Let's just try to keep an eye on the other games on a different screen here. In case you're wondering why is he not paying attention. Okay, let's stick to this game. This seems the most exciting game at the moment, because White has options now to open up the position here. e6. So Black doesn't want to wait. He wants White to do something here. So e6 forces White to either capture or retreat his knight, as he just did. And maybe Black can just develop. Maybe knight f6 is not such a bad move, and just simply castle. I think once Black develops his pieces, he should be fine. And maybe White, I mean, once you go f5, there's no going back. You have to push your push your pawns and go for it. So g4, maybe going for g5, f6, that would bring this bishop in trouble. Might look like a good idea. He goes for d6, which is also interesting. Bishop f4. You can put some pressure here. It's not easy for black to defend now. He's trying to punish him for playing this e6 move. Maybe there's a chance black castles and decides to give up on the pawn, but it's hard to imagine. Wow, bishop c8. Okay, so this looks a bit scary because you have some discovered attack on the knight on c6 here. Takes on g6. And once the first results are there, I'll try to update you on that, but I'm not sure where to find any standings, so I hope that will work out fine. Alright. So black managed to get his king safe, which is pretty important. And maybe now the game gets into slower waters because, yeah, center is closed, there's no more attack, and I think it's going to be more of a strategical battle here. White's going for the f-file, and I'm not sure where black's play is going to come from now, because this beautiful diagonal is now closed. So his play on the queen side here, not sure if it gets us anywhere. So I think white is a small edge, but this game is far from over yet. So let us tune in with another game and see how things are developing there. I am trying to find Benjamin Bock, but I get the feeling his game is finished, but I have no idea how to check that, to be honest. So okay. Okay, let us check in with King Luke, see what's going on there. Alright, King Luke against Vincent Blom, he has quite a space advantage here. But black is defending, and I don't yet see a clear way through, but white obviously is dominating the position here. Because this rook is terribly passive, and this pawn will always remain in weakness. The question is, how can white make use of it? I think he will switch to the f-file right now. And then he tries to make use of the fact that black needs to, as you can see, play something like this. It takes 2 moves. But still, maybe, this pawn is also quite weak. I'm not sure if white can make any clear progress here. Rook f5. I suspect he just goes rook e8 first. Rook e3 and then maybe protects this pawn here. No, he goes rook g8. Not too sure about this move. Not so sure about this move. He was gonna play active in these endgames, and this doesn't look too active what he's doing, but maybe he's just holding. White maybe needs to push e5. Yeah, he needs to solve this weakness. And now he's hoping that his active rook will decide. I think he will capture with the king if black takes on e5. So then the king can run in and he can try to win the g5 pawn. But black's not allowing him. That's clever. But still, black is under pressure here. The rook is going to go to e6. Once again, pressure the pawn. And if you got to put your rook on h8, it's terribly passive. So I think that's a very good decision. He decides to give up this pawn, even though he can win back this guy. on the next moves. But I think Luke is not gonna win this game if I'm very honest. Sure, he is active, but it feels like Black has a decent amount of counterplay, but maybe this is a very strong move. Because now he takes here, but he also gives check, and the king being pushed back is always a bad sign. In the meantime, I don't have any results coming in just yet. I think we're gonna stick with this game for a little while, see if there's any surprise in the making here. Yeah, I can't find Benjamin Box's game, so I guess he finished his game. And here we now have an interesting situation. It's 2 against 3, but this pawn he's quick. He's very quick. I guess Black needs to stall white as long as possible here, and in the meantime he needs to push his own pawns on the queen side, like b5, a4. And I'm not even sure if Black might get winning chances. Black might get winning. Okay, so now if he takes, you gotta be careful for rook check and rook g5. And that's very dangerous. So he makes a clever decision not to take on d5. And he takes a bit early. I think I would have waited for like 1 or 2 moves if that's possible, because a tempo can be a big difference. And here I think this is supposed to be a draw. This pawn is way too far advanced, and I don't think white can stop it. But I was thinking maybe black can even go for a win, but now with only 2 pawns, that's a bit optimistic. In the meantime, I see Liam Vrolijk beating Jan Werle, so that's a nice win for him. And yeah, this game is drawn. Very nice game by Vincent Blom, drawing Luke in the first round with black. And they go for the second game straight away, but let us keep an eye on the other games that are still in progress here. Let's return to Pruisers against Burg. Oh wow, a lot has happened here. I also see Jan Smeets won his first game. Well, there should be a Vrolijk beat Werle. Yeah, I got it. Thanks. Yeah, and this is checkmate as well. So Roland Pruisers beats Van Burg. It's always nice to get the first win in. It can be very important, especially if you just need 2 wins. So this game is already the second game. Yeah, this is the second game already. Now I wonder where I can find. The first game is a draw. So these guys are gonna play for a while. Let's check out this game. So Nico Swears actually beat Wouters Koolman in the first round. That's quite an upset. A setup. Setup. I was confused as to. Anyway, surprising result there. Great job by Nico Swears, teammate of mine. But I ultimately am not rooting for anyone here. So let's see if I can find the other results of the first round. And I see Admiral and Ernst just drew their game. So they're going to the third game there. They drew the first 2 games. That might be a long match in the making. Wow, and Liam Vrolijk won again. Oh boy. I gotta show that game. I have no idea how. Liam Vrolijk just won in 10 moves, beating Jan Werle. So he's the first one to proceed to the next round. Great stuff there. I wish I knew how to find the game, but I can't at the moment. I'm sorry about that. It's a bit hectic trying to follow all the games here. So what did Jan Smeets do? He won the first game, right? Yeah, so he's playing with black now against Danny de Ruiter, and this looks comfortable for black. Yeah, I also want to show the full game, but I don't know how to watch games that finished. Well, I'll figure that out. I really want to know what Benjamin Bok did the first round and what Lamy did in the first round. And those are the games I'm still missing. But I get the feeling they're not playing anymore. Whoops. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. My bad. There we go. This was the game we were watching. So let's stick to this game because can you win if you're not Dutch? Nope. You gotta be Dutch. Okay, so what's happening here? Nico Zwerch just won the first game and he's going all out in the second game now. And it looks like he has a promising attack here. I mean, the queen side is locked down. I mean, look at these pieces. They're not doing anything at the moment. And these guys are doing a pretty good job of stopping all the black counterplay. Now he just needs to go h4, h5, I guess, to crack open the king side. This feels very good for white, to be honest. This feels very good for white. However, he has to be careful because this guy is maybe in trouble. Because it needs to protect the bishop, so you can't really move it. And I think he wants to play knight b6 now. Taking the rook first, but maybe black is not forced to move the rook. Maybe he can play a different move, but it's hard to imagine. Now this looks very, very troublesome for black. Wow, 95. What's happening here? Knight b6, he just ignores it. Okay, so now there are quite some pieces hanging, and I'm not sure if he can save every piece here. Hey Pepe, welcome. Do these guys prep for these tournaments? Well, I used to prepare for this tournament. You know, it's always nice when you can just check a few of your opponent's games, and I also used to analyze the games in between the rounds, which is hard now because now the rounds are right after each other. Normally you have to wait until all the games are finished. But I think they prepare a little bit. Okay, so Zwerch just captured a piece, and he can capture another rook here, so I have to say, this is going to be very, very difficult for Wouter. I see Erwin Lamy also won his first game. It seems like they started a bit later, because they only played one game. I just haven't seen Bok in a while. Let's see if I can find his results somewhere. Nope, not yet. Okay, we just have to wait for that one. In case anyone knows what happened there, feel free to let me know. So, Zwerch decided not to capture the rook, but he's going full throttle. This is just game over for black. I can't see what he's going to do. The knight is hanging. His rook takes h6. Yeah, if the queen comes in, it's game over. He can't recapture. Wow, this is a big surprise. This is a very big surprise. Nico Zwerch beating Wouter Spoelman 2-0. Very convincing second game. So he also proceeds to the next round. That means we will look for a different ongoing game here. Let's check out King Luke. Another endgame. Another promising endgame because once again black looks very active. A nice rook on the second rank. This knight seems crippled, to be honest. It's pinned, but also doesn't really have a good square to go. So white's going for counterplay, and this might be annoying for black because, I mean, his pawn structure isn't that pretty either. There's quite a few weak pawns here. Quite a few weak pawns. Threatening rook b6 now. And actually, the knight looks pretty bad, but I don't really see how black is gonna attack a single pawn in white's camp. I just don't see how it's gonna make it happen. So I guess if he just takes on c6, it's white's never gonna lose this position anymore. But maybe he wants more. Yeah, now he wants more. This is interesting. Now he wants more. I think he can. I'm not sure if he can get more, but he can try to get more. Unless he gets tricked somehow. A king f6 and maybe rook e6, rook e3 is coming. I guess white is gonna take some risks now. Or is he just going for the draw here? Is he just going for the draw? That would mean a second draw between Vincent Blom and Luc van Wely, and yeah, I mean they're still 0-0, so Luc didn't really take any damage, but he also didn't manage to win in 2 games. So they go for a third game. Let us see what is happening at the game between. I wanted to check this one. So Twan Burg against Roland Pruisers. We just saw Pruisers won the first game. And he went for the Scandinavian. Always a tricky opening in Blitz. And he's basically just developing pieces and exchanging a few. He seems satisfied with that. And I think Aaron Lamy won his second game. No, not yet. No, they're still playing, of course. I get the feeling that Benjamin Bok already won 2-0, but I'm just waiting for some sort of confirmation because I don't see this result anywhere. So that's still a bit of a guessing game here. So any familiar faces in this tournament? Where can I see the brackets? You can find all the information below the stream. There's a link to the pairings and results, so you'll find all the information you need. And familiar faces, well, I mean, for the Dutchies, there are so many familiar faces. And we have, I mean, the biggest names are Benjamin Bok, Luc van Wely, Erwin Lamy, are the strongest GMs out here. But then, we have so many other strong players playing at the moment. If anyone still has any tip on me where I can find games that already finished, well, feel free to let me know because I'm struggling a bit here. Good job, Bob. Okay, so in this game, Black I think did a pretty good job on surviving the opening for now. I think what he wants is just to exchange a few pieces and try to push for the second win with white. That makes a lot of sense to me. So as far as I can see now, we have 5 matches in progress. Assuming that Bok won his match, the other 5 are still in progress as we speak. I know Admiral and Ernst drew their 3rd game, so still no wins there. That might turn out to be a long match. Okay, let's have a look at Erwin Lamy, because we haven't really seen him play until now. Let me see if I can find his game. This is confusing. Where is his game? Ah, there we are. Erwin Lamy. So, playing with black, won the first game. And well, it looks solid, but to be honest, I kind of like white. I guess pushing f4 feels natural here. Just, creating some more space there for your pieces. Why not? Seems to be preparing this move with bishop c3, so f4 is a bit more forcing, really threatening to take this pawn. That goes f6. Okay, so Lamy is going super solid here. Or is he creating some counter attack? It all feels very artificial. The king and the rook are a bit awkward like this, but now pushing the h pawn, it makes more sense. So now if he plays g4, I think knight g6 is coming, yeah, and knight f4 is a big threat, and I think he will still go knight f4. He wants those dark squares. Nope. Oh, interesting. So I like this play. Black is so solid, but he's playing on 2 sides of the board. Must be very confusing for white now. He's low on time, below 20 seconds. Lamy has more than a minute more on the clock, and he's trying to open his position anywhere possible. And this is game over. Just killing a full rook here. Leaving the exchange, a full rook, because also this guy is hanging. Rook e1, bishop d4, and that's pretty much game over, unless there's a more clever way to save material. He takes an f2. That's a bit surprising. You would expect him to save the piece by bishop d4, but he gives back a piece. That may have been a bit unnecessary, unless I missed the move there. But okay, Lamy being up the exchange, I think he will manage to win this game. Let's have a look at. I see King Luke is playing another very tough, solid positional game and pushing a slight edge there. Okay, this is interesting. I think we're hopping back to Burg-Pruisers, because that one is turning into a bit of a time scramble here, where Pruisers has two knights, and Burg has a rook, and it's always hard to tell which is better. You would say 2 pieces are better than the rook, but in an endgame with a lot of space and open files, the rooks can be very strong, and knights can be good, but they need support by pawns. Like this knight is doing fine, but this knight is struggling a bit to find a good square. He should go to c6, but it's not so easy to create any play. It would be much better to put a knight on e4, but there it's not protected by a pawn, and it's very vulnerable to any sort of attack. So we'll see how this game develops. Ooh, that looks passive. Rook c2. Now there's some knight jumping everywhere. This is dangerous. Knight e3 is very hard to stop. Rook c1, but ew, this doesn't look too pretty. Black simply picking up the pawn here, and that is an important pawn. I think it might be important later on. Maybe put the knight here now. Now he goes back to e5. Bit more conservative, but why not? The rook e2 is being punished by knight f3, little discovered attack here. And he fell for the double attack. So this is game, up a piece. Bruises beats Burg 2-0. Not a very convincing win. And he is, as far as I can see, the third or the fourth to proceed to the next round. So congratulations to him. And let's see what other games we have at the moment. So let's see how these guys are doing. So Admiral won his first game now after 3 draws. Admiral decided it's enough draws and he won again. And now he is, what's this opening? Harry is already busy marching up the board. G3, E5, E4. This is a known line where black sacrifices the center pawn in order to open up the king side, and he is going all out for the win here. Exchanging these bishops, and then he wants to put his queen preferably like this and just checkmate the guy. I mean, if this works, that would be nice for black. But I guess Sipke is still familiar with this setup, this opening, this idea. So we'll see how this game develops. It's taking some time now to think. Let us see if King Luke is managing to push through. Oh, he's just up a piece. He's up a piece and he has a very dangerous pass pawn here. That should be sufficient for the first win in this match. Should be sufficient. And I also see Erwin Lamy won his second game, so he also had a 2-0 against Bolwerk, so he also proceeds to the final 8 players as expected from him. That means we have 3 matches left. So Luc van Wely playing Vincent Blom, Jan Smeets playing Danny de Ruiter, and Sipke Ernst playing Miguel Admiral. And I think I can give Bok a 2-0 victory, but I haven't seen that confirmed anywhere, but let's just put it out there. So Luc is trying to get away from Perpetual here, and he should be able to do so. He's probably running over all the way to c2. Queen d5, yeah, so now that when the queen gets here, that's pretty much game over. He can just give away a few pawns here, like, I don't know, he doesn't care about the h-pawn. Getting the queen to e6 is vital. He's gonna go king d1 here. He's gonna go queen e6 next move. And, oops, he's just gonna take a few pawns here. He can take on f6 or take on d6. Doesn't really matter too much. A few checks wouldn't have hurt him that much, but okay. Because the king is always going to be safe on b4. This is clever. No, king a3, queen c5. Wait, does that mean the king is stuck on c1? No, now he has rook d2 check. That's right, rook d2. That's winning. I think black should have played queen g2, but okay, we'll see what happens here. Queen f2. Yeah. Queen c5. Okay, this is going to be a draw. It's going to be 3 times the same position soon. So king c2, he has to go queen g2, because queen g2, rook d2. He has this check. And I think you can just play rook d2 now, right? What am I missing here? Is the h-pawn too quick? Maybe that's the point. Maybe the h-pawn is the big danger. So this is going to be a perpetual. Wow, what a save by Vincent Blom once again. Are they going into the third draw? Because this is now 3 times the same position if someone claims a draw. Yeah, there we go. Wow, he's putting up a great fight. And I see that Jan Smeets also won, so Smeets, 1 draw, but 2 wins. He defeats Danny de Ruiter and guarantees himself a spot in the final 8. Which means we have Luc van Wely, Vincent Blom, and let's check out the other game. That's between Sipke Ernst and Miguel Admiral. Let us just quickly see what happened here when we left the game. Bishop h3 was the last move we saw. So he took. King's trying to keep the pieces out. He exchanges everything on the h file. That's clever. That's clever. Some pawn exchanges here. So, okay, white is up a pawn. And it seems like a healthy pawn to me. Just his center pawn is his extra pawn. That's always nice. With the rooks off the board, the open h file is not so scary anymore. So I would say that white has a very pleasant edge here. And can try to push this towards a win. A win he needs because he's down 1-0. So he needs to win this game to, well, I mean, he can also draw, but winning the game at least gets him back into the match. As you can see, we already have very close matches in the first round. And it's going to be even closer in the next rounds to come. Because then the difference will be smaller and they need 3 wins to proceed. So this round only 2 wins, but next round 3 wins to proceed. If you already want to see who's playing who in the next round, you can check out the pairings and results right below the stream. There's a link there. You can click that and you will find the bracket for this tournament. So black is still trying to annoy white a little bit, but I think the knight and the king like this are very strong against black's current attacking setup. So I think he just needs to like play b3, protect this pawn, maybe go queen d5, queen f4. Like you have so many ideas to slowly improve your position. I think he will just exchange that or play b3. No, okay, he's going aggressive. It's also nice. Eyeing c7 here. So black can't really move the knight on e5. But how is he going to continue here? I would still want to play b3. Just protect this pawn. Get rid of the tension there. I mean, why wouldn't you? There we go. So now maybe the queen goes back. He can maybe push f4. He needs to create a pass pawn somehow. It's either that or he wants to keep his king safe and maybe trying to push this guy here. Like with knight f5, try to put pressure on this g pawn. Now this is a clever setup. The way he puts his pawns here, protected by the knight, protected by the queen, and this knight has trouble trying to attack either one of these pawns. I'm not sure how Sipke Ernst is going to continue here. But we do know that Admiral is very low on time. He's below 10 seconds, and with only 3 seconds increment, that is not easy. He's giving a few checks, and he's picking up the pawn on a7 here. No, he doesn't. E4 is also hanging. My bad. So now playing f3 weakens the king position a little bit. I wonder if he finds a way to advance here. Is this coming now next move, picking up the f6 pawn? I think it is. Going with check. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that might be decisive. That getting that pawn is very important. And he's going back now to make sure the black queen doesn't enter. Threatening a little check on b4, trying to win the knight. b4 now is strong, yeah, he plays that move. Black cannot capture because he drops his knight after pawn takes, queen takes, you can no longer defend. He has to move the knight, and now you can always pick a third pawn yeah. Now black will try to go for some perpetual, but this should be in the pocket for Ernst, which means that he can level the score again. Trying to exchange queens. Now he needs to push his pawns. Yeah, so checkmating black's not gonna work. Queen e3, exactly. Nice move. Knight can't move because queen b6 will be checkmate. And the pawn is just running e6, very nice move. Black's giving up the piece, but this is game over. This is just game over. Unless he's trying to work out some stalemate. Is he? There's just no stalemate possible, he always has this pawn. Yeah, queen takes, and he can still move this pawn. Yeah, that's game. So Sipka ties the score there, which makes it 1-1 between these guys. And they go into their final game. Well, not final game, I mean they can still make a few draws, but the first one to win now gets himself to the next round. But let's see how Luc van Wely is doing against Vincent Blom. Wow, another tight game. Not much happening here. Very balanced. Even though I think I prefer black a little bit better, because this bishop is very strong and he's targeting this, and also this bishop is doing a good job attacking e5. But if it's enough, I'm not sure. Yeah, so he's bringing the queen to g5, which is clever because then he's attacking both pawns. Maybe queen h4, queen e4. He's trying to find a way to put more pressure on white. He needs to try and find a way. Or pushing this pawn here, but it's hard to realize. It's not easy. It's just not easy. So, did anyone hear from the game between Bok and Winkels? Did that finish, or because I just didn't, I just missed it, and I'm also not sure how to find games that already finished. So if anyone knows how that works, please, I wouldn't mind learning how to do that. Okay, so Luc managed to bring his queen to f4, allowing the white queen to enter, but I think the white queen has to go back anyway, because no way he's gonna leave his position undefended there. Wow, is Luc just going for the draw here? Why isn't he pushing? Why is he trying to? Okay, that surprises me a bit. You would say this is the perfect position for a top GM to try a bit more, but maybe there's nothing. All right, so then we switch back again to Ernst and Admiral, and they have an exciting position. Let us quickly see what happened here. d4, d5. We get into bishop g5. That's an interesting system. So black gets the center, but white gets the pawn. Okay, this is weird stuff happening here. King d2. I mean, what a move. Yeah, the king is very awkward on c1 now, but maybe it's not such a big deal. But I would say black clearly won this opening battle. I mean, this is, you would say you forgot about this rook. He's castled. Did move the rook to d1. So white will need some time to play b3 and king b2. But first he needs to stop knight b4, so a3 is a good move here. And then he will go b3, king b2. And that gives black like 2 moves to get something going here. He needs to be quick now. Rook f8, good move, moving the rook to the open file. Maybe bishop g4 is next, trying to annoy this knight a little bit. Obviously hoping to ever get a rook to f2, that would be great. Rook d1. I will still go bishop g4 here. I would still go for this move. So he will take, probably king takes, king d2, but then this knight is hanging, so white still doesn't have time to develop his pieces the way he wants. So maybe he needs to go rook f1, but then his last move looks a bit funny. He takes with the knight. Knight e5, rook f1, and dropping the rook on a1, so he needs to move his king, but now bishop f3, rook f1 maybe. That's a nice save, that's a very nice save. I think Sipke missed that one. And suddenly, white seems to be doing fine. Because can he take the pawn on e5 now? I'm not sure. Rook comes in. Can take this pawn, but the bishop is hanging. It's unclear now. And if you go rook f1, maybe knight g5, put some more pressure on the pinned knight. I don't think you want to self-pin your knight. That feels a bit awkward, to be honest. But I think he's calculating knight takes e5, and now he goes for rook f1. So what about knight g5 now? How are you going to protect it? If you go king e2, e4 wins a piece. I think he's just still dropping the pawn here. And I mean, look at the time. Admiral is below 10 seconds and Sipke Ernst is more than 2 minutes. This is looking for a win for Sipke. I mean, if he lets this one slip away, he's gonna feel so bad about it. It's always amazing how many of these high games end in a tie. Yeah, it is amazing. The thing is, especially in this format, a draw is okay. So most players don't want to take too many risks. And what happens then is that you simply make draws and wait for your chance. I mean, what Luc van Wely is doing, he's very confident he doesn't lose. So he's going for the long matches, and he knows he will win at some point, but just knows he's not going to lose, and that's how he takes on the match. At least that's my experience, unless he's just not capable of winning it quicker. But yeah, hard to say. Talking about him, it seems like Luc is winning an exchange on the other board. But let's stick to this game now, because Admiral in time trouble, and this one can be decisive. Because the first of these two guys to win the game simply proceeds to the next round. So it's one strike and you're out. It's a bit of a technical task, but with an extra pawn and with the bishop against the knight, which is preferable with pawns on both sides of the board, this should be a win. But he needs to be precise, and this doesn't look too precise if you ask me. Where does this bishop go? Bishop b5, c4, bishop c6. Now he's going to a6. Wow, but now rook h5 maybe. King d6, rook f5. And now things are becoming a bit dangerous because the rook is entering play here. And Luc van Wely won his first game. So they made 4 draws, but Luc won his first game. That's an important one. Sipke is he messing up this endgame a bit? Rook e7, you can already win back a pawn. h5, that's a very good move. Now rook e7 is possible because the knight is no longer attacking the e5 pawn. I like that move. I'm sure you saw that coming in advance. Now the knight is trying to find a new place on the board. Let's see if he can go Alpha Zero style and make crazy knight maneuvers to manage to save this endgame. f4, yeah. Looks like a good plan to me. Ooh, clever. King g7, trapping the rook here. Wow. Wait, he doesn't buy it? Yeah, okay, just bishop takes and rook takes e4 check. And picking up one of these two pawns. Sorry, that's game over. He can try, but even like this, I mean, this pawn is too strong, this h pawn. Not to mention the extra piece you have here. Of course, white has to try. I mean, if he loses, he's out, so he needs to give it a try here. And we all dream about these rook against rook bishop endgames where you can still hope for a draw somehow, maybe. But the odds are not in his favor. This bishop is superb. He can go on e4, he can cover the promotion square of the white pawn and cover his own promotion square. That's looks so lovely. So black has plenty of time to pick up a few pawns and slowly turn this into a win. Rook a4, he's gonna go king f4 when there's a check. Yeah, king f4. He can give a check here and he can push his pawn here. Maybe he just goes for the checkmate. Yeah, that might even be stronger. That might even be stronger. Bishop here. Yeah. King g1. But that's checkmate. Rook a1, rook h1. That's a beautiful checkmate. The pawn is even useful in this line. How gorgeous. If you go king h2, rook h1 is checkmate here. Beautiful. So that means Sipke wins. That means he gets a 2-1 lead in wins, and that means he continues and he eliminates Admiral here. That means we only have one game left, which is Vincent Blom against Luc van Wely. So Van Wely just won the first game after 4 draws in a row. So, I mean, it's a great performance by Vincent Blom already. Sure, he wants to beat him, but making 4 draws against him, it's a great result. Let's see if he can still put up a fight. And his position looks comfortable. He has more space. He's just not making a move here. I would say queen b3 looks healthy, and with bishop c7 and b5, you trap the queen. So, I mean, it's a plan. It's a good plan. Maybe he's finding a way to trap the queen already, but it's hard to tell. Rook c1. Wait. Queen b3, d4 was hanging up. That's I missed that. This is a move he really wants to play, but he needs to protect d4 first. Okay, but now you can go queen b3. Rook d4, bishop e3. The rook moves. This move almost traps the queen. It's close. The queen is in danger, but I don't see how you can win it just yet. You would need bishop c7 to cover these 2 squares. But it's hard to make this work. Very hard to make this work. Bishop e3, so I guess rook goes to d7, that would make a lot of sense. Covering this pawn. And rook on d7 prepares doubling up. Now b5. He doesn't really have a choice, does he? Well, he can do nothing, of course. That's a good plan, because if you do nothing here with white, the queen, you're not going to win it, but the queen is trapped. Now bishop f1, that's a nice plan. It doesn't only stop rook d3 from happening, but also it's eyeing the queen. So you can go c5. Just c5. Now black is preparing bishop d3. Clever defense. So what about just rook d1? Is that a good idea? We exchange those rooks and we keep the pressure on queen on a6. Stopping bishop d3. Knight b2 does the same. Knight b2 does the same. So this is the big move now. It's dangerous. I mean, if black doesn't know it anymore, you can always play c5. You can give up a pawn, save his queen. But I don't think Luke is very eager to give up a pawn, so he goes for b6. But I was wondering if this allows some bishop g2 move and that this pawn might get in trouble anyway. But maybe just queen c8 and maybe he just manages. Yeah, I see that Bok against Winkels is now confirmed a 2-0 win for Bok, which is what we expected, but now we know for sure. But Blom he keeps putting pressure. It's amazing. So Luke managed to survive. His queen is safe. He's no longer in any danger. But I'm not sure if he has time to try and push for the win. This knight is going places. Nope, not going places. It's going back. Okay, but now can you go rook d4, pick up this pawn maybe? Yeah, now black is taking over. Now the pair of bishops are going to be able to show their strength, and the rook's on the only open file. That's important. Yeah, he brings his rook to d4 with tempo. That's beautiful play. Queen c3, rook d3, and or bishop f6, also an option here. This makes sense. Now you can just pick up the a4 pawn on the next move without allowing any strange tactics. You can take with the rook or the queen, whatever he likes. This threatens rook b4, bishop f6, and now all the moves are logical for black here. Okay, so they go into the opposite color bishops, and that is always. Oh wow, bishop e4, bishop e4. White's winning. He needs to take the bishop. Oh boy. Oh boy, he just ran into a huge counter here. Oh, but now it's black again who's in control. Okay, this game is all over the place now. So he was up the exchange, but he was too eager exchanging queens, and now he's losing this pawn. And suddenly these two pawns, they can be dangerous. He's gonna push this guy. He's gonna push him. Bishop d4 protects this pawn. He gives a check. That's no big deal for black. He goes bishop d4. No, you can just start running. c3. No, not yet. But now he will. c3, c2, c1. What you gonna do? Yeah, this is game over. Bishop b2, and wow, that went quickly. That went very quickly. So this means Van Velde also gets in his second win, and that means it's all clear. We have Bok, who proceeds to the next round, and he is gonna play against Zweers. And then we have Vrolijk. He will play against Lamy, and we'll have Ernst play against Van Velde. That's a great matchup. I'm really looking forward to that game. And we have Bruisers playing against Smits. So it will look just like this in the quarterfinals. Zweers, Bok, Vrolijk Lamy, Ernst van Wely, Bruiser Smits. It's gonna be exciting stuff. I'm looking forward to it. As for now, the players have a 10-minute break. So do I. So stay tuned, and I will hopefully see everyone back in 10 minutes when we continue with the quarterfinals here. So it started 14 10 plus 2. So yeah, indeed in 9 minutes from now. So take a break, get a cup of coffee, get a cup of tea, whatever, and make sure not to miss anything. We'll be back very soon.